Right now, as you watch this, something is happening inside your chest that most people your age won't discover until it is tragically late. While you have been conditioned for decades to fear salt, fat, and high cholesterol, a groundbreaking study that followed 120,000 people for 30 years has identified a far more aggressive killer hidden in your healthy morning routine. According to global health data, cardiovascular disease remains the leading cause of mortality, claiming over 17 million lives every single year. Even more concerning is that 8 out of every 10 adults over the age of 60 are already living with at least one cardiovascular condition, often without realizing it. If you want to protect your heart and ensure you aren't part of these tragic statistics, please take a moment to like this video, share it with your family, and subscribe for more expert health insights. Stay with me until the very end of this presentation, because I am going to reveal a specific 4-week protocol to purge this toxin from your system and explain why your healthy breakfast might be caramelizing your heart from the inside out. Let us begin by exposing the massive deception regarding what actually clogs your arteries. 1. The great cholesterol deception and the hidden sugar assassin. For over 50 years, the medical establishment has focused almost exclusively on lowering cholesterol numbers. Yet we continue to see a global heart disease epidemic. Clinical observations frequently reveal a paradox where individuals with low cholesterol still suffer from strokes, while others with high numbers remain perfectly healthy. The real culprit, as revealed by 30 years of intensive research at major universities, is not dietary fat, but added sugar, specifically processed fructose. This ingredient is so dangerous that consuming high amounts can nearly triple your risk of dying from heart disease compared to those who keep their intake low. The food industry is well aware of this danger and has developed a brilliant strategy to keep you consuming it without your knowledge. They currently use over 60 different names for sugar on food labels, ranging from agave nectar to malt syrup, to ensure that sugar does not appear as the primary ingredient. This tactic is so effective that nearly 3 out of every 4 packaged products in your local grocery store contain added sugar, even those marketed as natural or heart healthy. We are essentially living in an environment where our food is designed to bypass our biological defenses. Have you ever checked your healthy granola bar or bread for these 60 hidden names? Or do you find yourself trusting the marketing on the front of the box? Understanding this deception is the first step towards saving your heart, as this hidden sugar triggers a cellular reaction that literally turns your flexible tissues into stone. 2. How healthy breakfasts are turning your heart into stone. Your heart is much more than a simple pump. It contains 4 delicate valves that must remain soft and flexible to function. These valves open and close approximately 100,000 times every single day without a break for your entire life. However, a specific process called glycation occurs when sugar molecules in your blood bond to the proteins in these valve cells. This creates advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, which act like a sticky glue, stiffening the valves and causing them to calcify. A 2022 study from Johns Hopkins tracked over 5,000 adults and found that this stiffening was not primarily driven by cholesterol or blood pressure, but by the metabolic environment created by what we eat. This process is remarkably similar to a garden hose left in the sun. It starts flexible, but eventually becomes brittle and cracks. Stanford University research tracking 1,400 adults showed that common breakfast foods like white toast or flavored oat products produce blood sugar spikes in people over 55 that are comparable to eating pure table sugar. These spikes happen because, as we age, our cells become less efficient at clearing glucose from the blood. Every time your blood sugar remains elevated, more AGEs form, moving the calcification process forward another step. You might feel fine today, but this damage accumulates quietly over 10 to 15 years before symptoms like shortness of breath finally appear. Are you curious about which specific healthy foods are the most frequent triggers for this internal caramelization? 3. The myth of heart-healthy yogurt and fruit juices. The average adult today consumes roughly 77 grams of added sugar daily, which is equivalent to 19 teaspoons. This is a staggering amount when you consider that leading health authorities recommend a maximum of 25 grams, or about 6 teaspoons, per day. Much of this excess comes from foods we have been told are good for us, such as low-fat fruit yogurt. A single 6-ounce container of this yogurt can contain 24 grams of added sugar, which represents nearly your entire daily limit in one sitting. Because the fat has been removed, the sugar enters your bloodstream even faster, hitting your heart valves with a massive spike. Fruit juice is another major health trap that surprises many patients. While orange juice contains real vitamin C, the process of juicing removes the fiber that normally slows down sugar absorption. Without that fiber, the natural sugars hit your blood as fast as a soft drink, and 100% fruit juice has been linked to cardiovascular risks similar to sugary sodas. Even your morning bowl of instant oatmeal, specifically the flavored kind, can cause a blood sugar spike that peaks nearly 1/2 higher than plain rolled oats cooked on a stove. This is why simply reading the front of a package is not enough to protect your life. Have you ever stopped to calculate how many grams of sugar are hidden in your healthy morning juice or cereal? 4. The metabolic poison that clogs your arteries in 2 weeks. When you consume added sugar, your liver is forced to process the fructose, which it often converts directly into fat. This fat enters your bloodstream as triglycerides, which are notorious for clogging arteries. Research has shown that consuming just 75 grams of sugar a day, the amount found in one large soda, can raise your triglyceride levels by nearly 1/3 in only 2 weeks. This rapid change demonstrates how quickly sugar can destabilize your cardiovascular system compared to the slow accumulation of cholesterol. High sugar intake also destroys your good HDL cholesterol, reducing these protective particles by nearly 1/4 in many individuals. Lower HDL means your body has less cleanup crew to remove plaques from your artery walls. Furthermore, sugar has been found to raise blood pressure more effectively than salt does, because it stimulates the nervous system and causes the kidneys to retain sodium. This creates a perfect storm: high triglycerides, low protective cholesterol, and high blood pressure, all driven by a single dietary ingredient. Leading researchers now state clearly that sugar is a metabolic poison that causes heart disease as predictably as tobacco causes lung cancer. This destructive cycle happens quietly in the background, but it is deeply connected to an imbalance in a place you might not expect: your gut. 5. The gut-heart axis and the 300 billion microbe shield. Modern cardiology is now uncovering that the health of your heart is inextricably linked to the 24 feet of your small intestine. When we eat a diet high in sugars and refined grains, fecal microbes that belong in the colon are allowed to migrate upward into the small intestine, a condition known as SIBO. These microbes inflame the intestinal wall and release toxic breakdown products into your bloodstream, a process called endotoxemia. This systemic inflammation is a major driver of heart disease and atrial fibrillation, as it destabilizes the fatty plaques in your arteries. Dr. William Davis, a renowned cardiologist, suggests that restoring specific probiotic strains like L. reuteri can help push these inflammatory microbes back into the colon. By fermenting these specific microbes for 36 hours, you can create a specialized yogurt that contains 300 billion microbes per half cup, a count far higher than anything found in a store. In some trials, this approach has helped eliminate SIBO in 9 out of 10 people, effectively lowering systemic inflammation. Beyond heart health, this restoration can increase the hormone oxytocin, which improves mood and deepens human empathy. It is fascinating to consider that the real solution to heart disease might not be a pill, but a balance of bacteria in your digestive tract. Have you ever thought about your gut as the primary gatekeeper for your heart's health? 6. The 4-week reversal plan for a stronger heart. The good news is that the damage caused by sugar spikes and inflammation is not a one-way street. Your heart can heal if you provide the right environment. The first step is to implement a 4-week plan focused on awareness and substitution. During the first week, simply photograph everything you eat to identify your top sources of hidden sugar. By the second week, eliminating sugary beverages alone can significantly reduce your triglycerides in a matter of weeks. In the 3rd and 4th weeks, you should transform your breakfast by eating protein, like an egg, before any carbohydrates to slow down sugar absorption. In addition to dietary changes, you must activate your body's natural repair system, an enzyme called SIRT1. This repair system is actually turned off when your blood sugar is high, so keeping your glucose steady is the only way to keep the repair crew on duty. A simple, cost-free way to help this process is to take a 10-minute walk immediately after breakfast. This gentle movement signals your muscles to pull sugar out of your blood, reducing the post-meal spike by nearly 1/4. Finally, ensuring you get 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night is critical, as poor sleep can increase your sugar cravings by 40% the next day. These small, consistent steps are what the biological research supports for a long, healthy life. Your heart has been beating for you every single second since before you were born, and it is finally time to return the favor. If you ignore the reality of added sugar and continue to follow the healthy labels of the food industry, you are choosing a path that leads to stiffened valves, inflamed arteries, and a high probability of a sudden cardiac event. Please, take action now. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment below telling me which healthy food in your kitchen surprised you the most. Tomorrow morning, swap that fruit juice for water, take a 10-minute walk after your meal, and give your heart the chance it deserves to keep beating for decades to come. In our next session, we will be diving into the longevity nutrients that are often missing from standard blood tests, so make sure your notifications are turned on. Your heart is worth the effort. Don't wait until it's too late.